I've had a few words sticking in my head lately. The words ask and then listen and then hear. Kind of realizing that we might be okay at asking questions, asking how people are, asking what's going on. And the second step often is a little bit harder is actually listening to them. It's so easy to ask someone their name and to hear it a little bit, but actually forget their name within a minute or two. And so asking questions of people and then listening to those people. And what I've really been convicted of lately is how little we hear people. That we listen to some of the basic surface answers of people, but we don't actually hear what's going on underneath the words in their hearts. I was thinking of Jesus in John 5, the pool of Bethesda, where he asked the man a really powerful question that seems silly at first until you understand what he's trying to ask. He says, "Do you want to be healed?" This is a man born lame and was sitting at a pool hoping to find healing. Of course, he wants to be healed, but Jesus was digging deeper. He asks the man, "Do you want to be healed?" And the man just gave him some excuses about why he hasn't been healed. And Jesus listened to him. He listened to the answers. And more importantly, he listened to the heart underneath those answers, listened to the despair, listened to the fear, listened to how he felt like he was never going to be healed. There's no hope. There's no chance. So Jesus didn't just listen, Jesus heard him. Jesus heard his heart. He heard the story underneath the story. And in the end, Jesus healed the man and told him to pick up his mat and go. That's the glorious thing is I think even right now, Jesus is asking us questions. And I wonder what question he's asking you. He's asking, why are you so burdened? Why are you so anxious? What do you want to do? What do you want to have for your life? And he's listening to us. He listens to the words that we say, but so much more importantly, Jesus is listening to our hearts. He's hearing us. This is the most beautiful thing is we so rarely are able to hear one another, to really hear, because we get caught up in the answers. We get caught up maybe even just waiting for a break in the conversation so you can start talking or I can start talking. But actually being able to think deeper and hear people's hearts. When you ask them how they're doing and they give a surface answer, what if there's a hint to what's actually going on? And so on the one hand, I want us to be encouraged that the Lord hears us. He hears our prayers. He hears our heart. He hears what's actually going on way down deep. And he hears with a powerful hand as well because he heals, he helps, he walks alongside, he carries. But there's also the push forward for us is what does that look like for us to hear one another? Even right now, there's so much angst and anxiety and fear with election season, with politics, with the economy, with so many different things. And we listen to the complaining, and other people listen to our complaining. But do you hear what's underneath that complaining? Do you hear the fear that's happening? Do you listen to all the anger that we have? But do you hear where the anger is coming from? Is it we're scared? And that oftentimes our hope and our life is wrapped up in how well the economy's doing or the country's doing or whatever it is that our well-being is wrapped up in other things besides Jesus. So what if we heard each other for a little while? Whenever there's someone that you even disagree with, what if you listened to them and heard what's happening underneath the words? That's what Jesus is doing with us. That's what Jesus has done for us when he heard the angst and the fear. and the people around him, even as he was going to the cross. He was hearing the fear. He was listening to Peter when he was defending him with a sword, but Jesus heard what was underneath that fight or flight for Peter and for John. He heard their fear, and he answered with hope. He answered with taking all of that fear and anxiety to the cross. And that's what he's doing for me today and for you today. So there's 3 words: ask, and then listen for the answer, and then hear somebody, hear what's going on underneath the surface so that we can offer hope as well. Thanks.